Hello, howdy. This is the network's 216 YouTube exclusive video. I am Nick Carnes of the Barking Brown Show, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the 2022 Browns defense and their secret weapon that they have entering the year. Now, it's no secret that just a few years ago, when Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, Joe Woods come into the Browns, the defense needed a lot of work, and we all knew that, right? But you could look at the defensive ends. You're like, well, we already know about that. That's a great duo. Miles Garrett, David Clowney. Obviously, they are, right? The only pair of number one defensive ends to ever play together, start together. And you might look at the secondary, and obviously Greg Newsome had a great debut campaign. Denzel Ward just got paid like the stud corner he is. The Browns drafted Martin Emerson. You got big things from Greedy Williams expected. Who knows what he could be? He's in year 4 now. There's a lot of intrigue there. But in general, I think there's been a piece of the Browns defense that's been missing for a long time now, and it might not be so obvious. And the answer I have for you is versatility. Now, if you remember, in Andrew Berry's first draft class, he drafted Jacob Phillips in the 3rd round, which really brought a versatile linebacker to the Browns core. But there were a couple problems with that. Number one, Jacob Phillips has struggled with injuries in his first 2 years. And number two, when Jacob Phillips was originally drafted, the Browns didn't have a entire linebacker core of versatility. They really had Jacob Phillips as the starting piece to that. But then Andrew Berry comes back in year 2 and drafts Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, which I don't know if you watched the Browns play last year, but JOK brought it. His campaign was slightly underplayed because of the injuries that he dealt with himself, but you could see it. Anytime JOK was on the field, there's versatility there. There's speed there. There's a guy that's not only batting balls and deflecting passes, but he's also getting the quarterback. He's creating tackles for loss himself. And Jacob Phillips, albeit in a limited time frame himself, also was. And I think that's the true difference in the Browns defense this year. Because if you remember, when Phillips got hurt, he tore his bicep in the first joint practice with the Giants, actually just grabbing out and reaching for a guy's jersey. So the vision of the Browns finally having two highly versatile linebackers, young, aggressive, that mold that they're looking for, wasn't actually able to be realized immediately. And they also drafted Tony Fields, who, in his own right, is a versatile player. Maybe a little bit less of the ideal size, but definitely you see the mold that the Browns were looking for when they drafted JOK, Jacob Phillips, and Tony Fields. Right? They need that versatility, especially in a division where you play against Lamar Jackson, who it's no secret, has burned the Browns badly, especially with his legs. And the Browns just never really had the type of speed to keep up with that, especially in the middle of the field. So this year, and one of the things that I'm most excited for is the versatility that the Browns defense is finally going to have, because the middle of the field and the linebackers that you put out there are in a unique role in today's NFL, because you need to be able to cover, but you also need to be able to stuff the run. And I think most linebackers are either one or the other, right? You got the bulk, the size. You're going to stop the run, or maybe you're a little smaller. You're going to cover the pass very well, but not so much the run. Well, I think that the beauty of having both Jacob Phillips and JOK together is that they both bring that versatility. And this is the year where it really feels like the Browns are going to be able to show the vision that they've had defensively for a long time. And it's no secret, if you listen to Ken Carman, he always says defense takes longer to build than the offense does. And I truly believe that, because it's a unit that has to gel more so than anyone, because you have to make those calls on the fly and how you're going to defend, and especially when you're dealing with the injuries that the Browns have, it's been really hard to get cohesion. And I think we started to see them as a unit play better together down the stretch of last year. It's just that the offense was not able to support the defense and keep them off the field, so that by mid-game, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, when they've been out there all day, you're not stopping anyone. So this year, I'm really excited because the offense stands to be significantly improved. And on top of that, the Browns enter with what you could definitely say is finally the vision of what they wanted all along. So when they put out these rangy, speedy, and still able to stop the run linebackers together, I think that has the potential to truly be special. So when I look at the Browns defense this year, there's a lot to get excited about. The secondary is obvious. The defensive ends are obvious. But honestly, versatility is one of the most important things in today's NFL because you see it from matchups like Kansas City and Buffalo where they're just slinging the ball all over the field to then you get snow games like Green Bay and San Francisco in the playoffs where really they're just running the ball. So no matter how you do it, and I mean, however you feel about the Dome, the Browns are still going to be playing outside, especially if they're hosting playoff games, right? But especially in the regular season. So you're going to need to be able to do both. And I think that dream and that reality is going to be realized now with JOK and Jacob Phillips playing alongside each other. It's going to be special. I can't wait to see what happens. Thank you for tuning in with me. This has been a fun YouTube Network 216 exclusive. I'm Nick Carnes. Go Browns.